This is Hino's Sport bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, y'all. It's really easy to predict basically Jermell Charlo versus Tony Harrison. And I'm going to explain why it's very easy to predict this fight. See, a lot of people are thinking, oh, this fight is going to be a lot harder than what it seems. It's going to be basically a fight of a law of attrition. No, it's not going to be that. You guys have to understand, Tony Harrison gave you the best iteration or the best variation thereof of who he was in the first fight. His body language since that first fight has been a guy who supposedly feel that he has arrived, who's caught in wearing Louis Vuitton shoes, who's caught in basically the fact that he's been partying, chilling, and doing too much outside of him disciplining himself. What you guys are going to see, and it could have been actually even worse than Andy Ruiz. Matter of fact, it would have been around the same threshold, 6 months. He was going to be a 6-month champion. He just delayed the inevitable. Now he's going to be a 1-year champion. Let me say it again. He delayed the inevitable, which was to be a 6-month champion. Now he's going to be a 1-year champion. Jermell Charlo is going to win this fight because you guys have to look at the body language. What Jermell Charlo did to Jorge Cota was what was supposed to happen to Tony Harrison. Because in that fight, if you look at Jermell Charlo's body language, he didn't fight like a fighter that was trying to look for the knockout. He set that thing up. Let me say it again. He wasn't a fighter that tried to look like he was trying to get the knockout. He set that thing up. That was the only mistake he made in the first fight. And in the mistake that he made, look how controversial the fight was. Look how close the fight was. That should tell you guys something. That's why I'm telling you, use what's called the true boxing eye test. And you could see how this second fight is going to play out. Tony Harrison thinks that he can use the same strategy over again, and it's going to basically be a strategy that's going to win over a second time. Let me tell you what the definition of insanity. Using the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Let me say it again. Using the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. You're not going to get a different result here. You're going to get your ass whooped. Initially, I was like, I had Jermell Charlo winning by decision. I changed that. And I'm going to keep this same energy and double down on this bad boy with confidence and fortitude moving forward. Jermell Charlo is going to knock him out. Because the body language that I'm seeing from Jermell Charlo is he understands that he has to be the second half of the Lions only mantra. Isn't it a coincidence? Or could it be, you know what I'm saying, how we would say destiny? Let me say it again. Is it a coincidence? Or isn't it what we would say destiny? That him and his brother are reenacting or getting their get back around the same time that they lost their Lions only bravado, which was December last year. And it just so happened that they get the redemption, right? The redemption story in December of this year. Your boy Maul handled Dennis Hogan back on December 7th, right? Mel's going to handle Tony Harrison on December 21st. So these brothers are getting their get back. And they made sure they made one quick adjustment. They didn't fight on the same night. Because you guys have to understand the symbiotic relationship of twins. They're so busy not only focusing on their own fight, they're focusing on themselves. Let me say it again. They're so busy not only focusing on their own fight, they're focusing on themselves. Because there is a symbiotic relationship between twins. Anybody that's a twin can tell you this. He knows the sport is not guessing this. This is not a guessing game. Just ask any twin that's an identical twin. They will tell you this. There's a symbiotic relationship. They feel for one another. I don't know. I can't explain it because I'm not a twin. But those who are twins understand this. And that's what happened that night when Jermell Charlo fought Matt Corbo and Jermell Charlo fought Tony Harrison. Maul was racing through a lot of stuff going through his head, watching his brother lost a controversial loss. Mind you, he shouldn't have lost. Because in these instances, when a fight is that close, unless boxing rule, Cardinal 101 is this. Unless you definitively take the belt away from the champion, you do not win. Let me say it again. Unless you definitively take the belt away from the champion, you don't win. Because if you're not going to give your Dennis Ugas, which was even more of a more deciding factor of a win, you're not going to give it to him over Sean Porter, then why would you give it to Tony Harrison? See, this is boxing politics, man. They wanted to stop the train that was called the Lions Only mantra because they understood Mel was on this train right here And they didn't want his head to get extra pumped up. Now, some of it could be that he needed that so that he could refocus and rededicate himself to his craft and be where he's at right now. So I believe some of it is destiny, but some of it is also the boxing economics and the boxing politics. I told you, boxing is a three-pronged monster, man. Economics, politics, and pugilism. Remember, he knows the sport is always going to give you the cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truths. So the truth of the fact of the matter is, you got to look at who's keeping that same energy right now. You got to test these fighter spirits out. And when you test these spirits out, you see that Jermell Charlo wants this. He's hungry. And you see that Tony Harrison is a guy who feels that he has already arrived. And what you're going to see come December 21st is Mel is going to basically reenact all of that pent-up frustration he's had for 12 months. And he's going to apply it through his weight distribution of his fists so that he can knock out Tony Harrison. Let me say that again. Mel has all of this pent-up frustration for 12 months of him not getting this bum, as he calls him, in the ring. So he's going to put all of this pent-up frustration in the form of weight distribution of fists. And he's going to land these solid shots that's going to knock out Tony Harrison. He's not going to be looking for the knockout. He's going to set that bad boy up, and he's going to listen to Derrick James' game plan to the T. So I'm expecting a late knockout by Jermell Charlo. That's how I see this fight playing out December 21st. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out. Hold on. Before I leave, Lions only. This is He Knows the Sport. Rechecking out.